Hi guys, welcome to another edition of Football Family Feuds. It's such a beautiful day today that I decided to take the channel outside so that everyone can enjoy this relaxing, lovely day and I can catch a bit of this beautiful sunshine. Three things I want to talk about today, and they are Osimhen, the Lille striker. Then I'll be going on to talk about Willian and could he be joining Liverpool. And finally, I'm going to be talking about the UEFA decision, which has just come in a few hours ago. So before I get into the main video, guys, please like, subscribe, turn on all post notifications so that you'll be notified every time I make a new video. Okay, plug out of the way and let's get into the first story, and that is about Osimhen. He's the Lille striker, the Nigerian striker. If you remember, he played and scored against us in the Champions League, and Le Ten Sport, I think it is, a French publication, are coming out and saying that Chelsea are very much interested in him and his teammate Gabriel Magalhaes. I've done a couple of videos on Magalhaes already, so I won't talk about him that much, but I want to concentrate on Osimhen. So when he played against us in the two legs in the group stages of the Champions League, I was very impressed by him. He was very fast, aggressive, and he was always giving our backline problems. He's similar in age to Tammy Abraham. He's 20 years old, and Tammy Abraham is 22, so there's not a lot of a difference in it with age. But somebody was saying that he wants to be the next move that he gets, that he wants to be the #1 striker. So at Chelsea, Tammy Abraham's already got the spot as the #1 striker, so is he gonna be able to take that place away from Tammy Abraham? Don't know. But I want strikers coming to our club who are not scared of competition. So if we do get him, if he decides to join, that says to me that he's got a lot of character and he's confident of getting that #1 spot. If he's scared of the competition from Tammy Abraham, perhaps that's not the mentality that we need at the club. Osimhen, he's a Chelsea supporter, so like a lot of Nigerian footballers, because the guy who plays for Villarreal, Chukwueze, he was stating the other day how he's a big Chelsea supporter, and now he was in tears when we lost the 2008 Champions League when John Terry slipped and missed that penalty. So yeah, we've got quite a lot of Jadon Sancho, there's another one, and there's quite a few people who support Chelsea. But supporting Chelsea doesn't mean that you're guaranteed to join the club that you love, because there's other players who've come out and said they are Chelsea supporters and they've moved on to different clubs. I've been looking at Osimhen's stats, and as I said, it's very similar to Abraham actually. He scored 13 goals in Ligue 1, and obviously Abraham scored 13 goals in the Premier League. Both of them got similar playing styles and both of them are strong in the air. But one thing I noticed on the escore.com website when I was looking at some of his stats is that he's got 3 weak points, and one of the ones what comes, it's very weak apparently, it's in red and it's down as very weak, and that's his offside. So he's going to be offside an awful lot, so that's going to frustrate the Chelsea fans, because I know that a lot of Chelsea supporters are really frustrated by Michy Batshuayi, because obviously he's got no awareness when it comes to staying onside or offside. The other weaknesses he's got, not very weak, but weak, is holding on to the ball and passing. So that kind of sounds, again, very much like Batshuayi. Good finisher, but lacks the other side, the build-up side of the play. That's if whoscore.com are to be believed. He's a good presser, as we saw when we played them in the Champions League. He's strong at pressing, and obviously Frank Lampard likes his strikers to be strong pressers, and because of his speed as well, he can stretch the play, giving room to the midfielders, giving space to the midfielders to run into. So that's one to look out for. I got quite a few Nigerian subscribers, so let me know about this guy, because obviously you've got a strong interest in him. He plays in the national team as well, so you would have seen him play a lot more than I do. Is he the right fit for Chelsea? What attributes can he bring to the club? And how would you compare him to Tammy Abraham? Do you think he's a better striker than Tammy Abraham at this point? Equal or not as good? So I'd really like to hear your views on this. Okay, moving on to the next story, and this story is regarding Willian, and there's some surprising news coming out today in that Liverpool have emerged as favourites for a signature. The story goes on to say that Liverpool are going to be offering him a very attractive contract, and Willian is very interested in the move. It'll be interesting to see if he does move, what sort of contract he's going to get, because if he gets less than a 3-year contract, then we definitely know that he wanted out of Chelsea, because one of the main reasons why he said he's leaving Chelsea is because Chelsea were only willing to give him 2-year contract, and he said he wanted a 3-year contract. So if he gets a 3-year contract at Liverpool, 2-year contract at Liverpool, we know that he was just BSing us, and it was just a way to leave the club and try and keep the fans on side. It makes sense for Liverpool actually, because he's not going to be a starter, because obviously they've got Salah and Mane as their main men, but he can come in and play as an impact player. We see now sometimes when he comes on as a sub for Chelsea, how he can make a difference, so he can be an impact player for them, or he can fit in either wing, right or left, when they want to give Salah or Mane a rest, or if one of them gets injured. And he's got bags of experience in the Premier League and the Champions League, and he's probably better than their backup options at the moment. So at the moment they've got Zakiri and Origi as backup options, and he's probably better than both of them. So it makes sense for Liverpool to be interested in him, obviously, and it makes sense for him to be interested in a move to Liverpool. He still gets to play for a Champions League team. He gets the money that he wants, and hopefully that 3-year contract that he said he really wanted, and he gets to stay in England. So that's definitely one to look out for. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think he'll be a good fit for Liverpool? Would you be disappointed if he goes to Liverpool? Do you think he'll pose a threat when we play against him, or are you not bothered? So comment below. Final story is regarding a UEFA, because yesterday I did a video where a lot of panic was going on, and yesterday sort of morning to early afternoon, when it said that UEFA were going to be using the coefficient to decide who gets into next season's Champions League if the league has to be abandoned. But I did rubbish that later on in the video when I said that UEFA are going to probably use footballing reasons, and it came out today after their meeting. They had a meeting today, and in the meeting they stated that it's only going to be footballing reasons, and so what that means is how you are doing in your domestic leagues. There's been talk of a playoff. If there's tight leagues, there may be a playoff to decide it, because Chelsea are not home and dry yet, although we're sitting in 4th place, because they'll probably look to do a playoffs between maybe Chelsea, Wolverhampton Wanderers, Leicester, or should be included actually, because Leicester are only 6 points ahead. So I'm not sure who it will be. Would it be Chelsea, Manchester United, Wolves and Leicester? But is that going to decide 2 places? If the top 2 would go through? I don't know. Or would they say Leicester are through and a playoff between Chelsea, Sheffield United, Wolves and Manchester United to decide who gets that 4th spot? Whatever way they do it, I keep saying it's not going to be fair, because Leicester's form had dipped, so they were catchable, and Chelsea were just about to start a good run. They had a fantastic result against Everton just before the virus kicked in, and so, as I said, 6 points. I can't remember if it's 6 or 3. I need to check it again, but there's not a lot in that. So the FA would probably, or the Premier League would have to come up with a decision. If a playoff cannot be played because of the fact that the government may decide it's still unsafe to do something like that, then it may be down to the average points. So if it's down to average points per game, then what you'll see is obviously Liverpool are home and dried anyway. Manchester City are next, Leicester will be there, and it will mean that Chelsea get in the 4th spot. Manchester United will be missing out because they'll finish 5th, but we've got the situation where Manchester City are meant to be banned from next season's competition, pending an appeal. But if the appeal doesn't take place before the competition starts, I'm not sure what's going to happen there. The selfish side of me, because before I wanted Manchester City to not take part, because obviously they are a big threat, and the way that they've cooked the books, they deserve to be punished, in my opinion. But now I'm hoping that they do an appeal, get a reprieve for this season, because what that would mean is that Manchester United will miss out, and the knock-on effect of that would mean that they can't get some of their preferred targets. For instance, Jadon Sancho said that he'll only join a club who's going to be playing Champions League football. So from the selfish aspect, you're going to look at that and say you hope that Manchester United miss out. So there you go, that's the stories for today, guys. Would you like to see a playoff system, or would you like to see the top 4 do it on an average point system, and then that means that Chelsea are guaranteed? Or do you fancy our chances when we play against the likes of Manchester United and Wolves? Manchester United have had our number this season. They've beaten us 3 times out of 3, so but good runs always have to come to an end. So if it's a playoff, there's no better time to get revenge against Manchester United than to beat them in a playoff and to stop them getting into the Champions League. So guys, hope you're enjoying the sunshine like I am, and don't forget, keep safe like I am, staying indoors just like me, and wash your hands at all times when you're touching surfaces, and keep that blue flag flying high. Until the next video, take care, bye bye.